I really like the shadow. We could do shadow animals with organic molecules. Okay, but I'm going to try to show you, and I can do as much as I possibly can to show you anything that's helpful for you. So here's our chair. And so for any of you who haven't seen this before, okay, so first off, let's take a bird's eye view. This is cyclohexane. So this is an alkane. This is 6 carbons, single bonded, and then all these little things sticking out. These are implied hydrogens are bonded there. Okay, I'm not going to put hydrogens on there. They're just implied. Okay, so here we have this circular, it's called cyclohexane. From this point of view, this looks like a simple hexagon, right? But if we turn this and look at it side view, we see that we've got these parallel carbon-carbon bonds there, carbon-carbon bonds here. Those are parallel, right? Okay. But this carbon goes below the plane. If this is the plane, I wish I had like I do have my periodic table, I guess. Okay. So if this is our plane, then we've got this carbon that's below the plane, and then the carbon I'm holding on to up here, this one is above the plane. Okay. So this is called the chair configuration because it's like a little chair. You can imagine sitting there. There's your chair, your head's up here, you're sitting right there, and then your feet are coming down in front of there. Okay. Now, the thing about these carbon bonds is that they are somewhat flexible. Okay, good. Oh, good. You're seeing it. I'm so glad. This is, oh, good. Yeah. These are somewhat flexible. So it is possible for this to rotate up. These are flip-floppy, right? They can move. All right. They're not stuck rigid. Okay. These carbons, for those of you who have learned about hybridization, these are all sp3 hybridized carbons. And so they can rotate around these bonds. So that allows this carbon, everything else stays the same. Everything else stays the same. But this carbon was able to then move up and be above the plane. So once again, this bond here, in the plane, in that plane, and both of these carbons are now above the plane, and this we call the boat, right? So our boat is on water. These two are up closer to us. It's hard to see bird's eye view, but there's our boat. Okay. So yeah, chair and boat. So the chair has a little bit less steric hindrance because now these hydrogens are pointed away from these. They're far away from each other. The boat has a little bit more steric hindrance because now we've got some hydrogen here, here, and here, and they're closer to each other. All right. The boat still exists. This molecule is constantly dynamically fluctuating. It's doing that, and then it's going back up, and then this one's going down, and then these two, they're going down, and then they're going up. So this thing is constantly moving around. Okay. It's pretty awesome. It's just like, burp, burp, burp. Okay. Doing this kind of like, woo, doing the wave like that. Okay. So, ultimately, though, we get either chair or boat. So, will this happen cyclohexene? Ooh, okay, let's take a look. So, with cyclohexene, we are now, I assume you're talking about there being just one double bond. Okay. So, essentially, with this model kit that I have, by the way, if any of you are interested in this model kit, I love this model kit. I'm going to give you a link to it. Yeah, just one double bond. Okay, perfect. So we can create double bonds in this way. I'm going to show you how to do it. Oh my gosh, look at this. This model kit has this whole little section, boat and chair conformations. And then they show like boat, chair. They put hydrogens on them. I didn't, but I feel like it's so much easier to see a lot of these organic molecules if you ignore the hydrogens. So, all right. Let's take a look at this. We are definitely, okay, spoiler, we're definitely going to be constrained more. Feels molecule, yeah, the molecule kit feels us totally. It's like, let me help you. Okay, so the way that this model kit works, I just took away the single bond, all right, and then I got these bonds can be used. Is this really the ideal way to do this? I feel like it's not. No, it's not. Hang on. I really want to use a shorter bond because double bonds are shorter, right? So let's do that. Okay. So what we want to do is create double bonds. Now, if you have double bonds, you are now using, this is between sp2 hybridized carbons. That is going to restrict the rotation that we were talking about. Okay, I don't know if you've been able to see what I've been doing, but so I just created a double bond between these two carbons. Okay, so this means we've got electron density above and below the plane. This electron density that is shared above and below between these two carbons, these are now sp2, sp2 hybridized. And so we've got this electron density above and below. Does it look like a crown? Yeah, it kind of does. Or like, oh my gosh, you could do so many things with this. Oh, I guess I can't. I was thinking that could be like a stand. I don't know. You could do all sorts of things. These things are a little bit too fun. Also, it looks like a balloon animal. Like someone at the carnival is blowing up a balloon animal for you, and it kind of looks like that. I don't know. Okay. I also really like the shadow. We could do shadow animals with organic molecules. Okay. So once you have, yeah, the double bond is where your head will go. Oh, gotcha. Okay, so you're going to go, yeah. Oh my gosh, this is like the ultimate tiara. All right. So, what can happen is that we can have a little bit of flexibility. Remember, these sp3 hybridize sp3, sp3, sp3. So we can have a little bit of movement with these. So we could have like this one going up and down. Okay, so this bond rotation here plays a big role in this. So this can go up and down here. This one can go up and down here. Okay, so these two that are opposite of the double bond, these two are going to be able to do a little bit of flip-flopping. They'll be able to go up and down like that. Okay, the issue is that this carbon here, this bond can't rotate. This bond does not rotate. Okay, so these being restricted, because right now we're in a plane where 120 degree angles between this going to the hydrogen. Hey, maybe I'll just put a hydrogen. Can I? Yeah, I'll put a hydrogen on those so you can kind of see those. This is so fun. Thank you for asking this question. I love it. Okay. So I'm going to put on these hydrogens so that I can show you how restricted these sp2 hybridized carbons are. Okay? So no longer can these flip-flop. This carbon, this bond here, and this bond between these two carbons, that ain't going anywhere. That is not moving. It's not able to undergo all of this, like a little bit of squirreliness, right? That these sp3 hybrid carbons are able to do. So you're only going to see movement over here on this end of the molecule. You're not going to see, this part will be rigid, okay? So no longer can it do that chair boat thing, okay? I mean, I suppose I could force it, you know, with this model kit. I could do whatever I want, but what we want to think about is what we know about what happens with these carbons here and the environment and the bonds around these two once we've changed the hybridization and we've locked it in with the double bond, with those pi bonds.